Alright, today we have a showcase of Moondragon in Battlegrounds, and she has just been so good in Battlegrounds, man. She is just a crazy good skill attacker. I feel like she is easily one of the fastest champions out there because she just has so much damage output and it's just so fast to access as well. So yeah, the rotation here is to SP1 and then go for the SP2, and then yeah, the fight is just over pretty much. But for like special fights like this overseer right here, you can just intercept with your heavy attack, and yeah, the damage output becomes pretty crazy on that regard as well. So yeah, like every time we do a heavy attack, it's like 8,000 damage, 31,000 damage there. And yeah, we can just drop the SP2 now, and he just will not survive whatsoever. And that was about 40 seconds for a 7-star overseer fight, which is just pretty dang good, man. And next up we have this Quicksilver fight. Quicksilver is pretty annoying because of his evade, but Moondragon has a very strong evade counter because while in Silent Transcendence, the opponent cannot evade at all. So that's pretty dang good. Here it gets the evade though, but that's fine. And the Whiplash, we can just parry to remove it, but also she purifies all debuffs when entering Silent Transcendence, so that's also like a way to counter it as well. So yeah, overall just like counters Quicksilver in pretty much every single way. It's pretty dang sweet. And yeah, now we're about to be in Silent Transcendence. We are now in it. And yeah, now it's just time to just start doing some crazy damage output, man. So here we can just bait out the heavy attack and then just go for our own combo. After that, we can just keep building up the Mind Blast charges. And then we can just go for an intercept. And yeah, drop the SP2. The fight will just be over. And like I said, it is over because look at that, man. 39,000 crit right there. It is just so good. And now we have this thing fight. And this thing fight is just perfect, man. It is just pretty much perfect. I made like 1 or 2 mistakes, but besides that, the damage output was just so crazy good, and she is honestly one of the best thing counters out there. But look right there, I got a lag spike. That caught me off guard, man. I was like, what happened there? But yeah, I don't know if that's been happening to y'all, but it happened to me like twice yesterday, and I'm like, that's kind of weird. But besides that, this fight still goes pretty dang well. And yeah, Thing is super annoying, right? Because he is just insanely tanky, but Moondragon's damage output just easily bypasses like his resistances, right? So yeah, it's overall a very good fight. And there is my mistake. I let him drop the SP2 while at 11 rock stacks. So yeah, that kind of just slowed things down a little bit. But after that, he drops the SP1. So now he's like at 0 rock stacks, so I can just drop the SP2. And yeah, this SP2 just totally wipes him out, and that was about 44 seconds for a Thing fight, which is just crazy fast, man. And now we have this Thing fight again, but things go a little bit differently here, and she kind of does too much damage output. That seems like weird to say, right? But it is true. She does too much damage output in this fight, and yeah, it kind of like makes things a little bit slower overall, but not the biggest deal, to be honest, because her fight time is still super fast, right? So yeah, here we just dropped the SP1. We're now in Transcendence, so we can just bait out his SP1, and now we can just rush to the SP2, and that should just one-shot him. It should one-shot him, but then something happens that caught me off guard at first, but then it honestly makes sense that it happened, right? So yeah, here I can just drop the SP1, or sorry, he drops the SP1 again, and I can just bait out the SP1 one more time, then drop our nice SP2, and just hope that it, like, you know, finishes him off, right? And then look at this, man. Some very nice numbers right there. And yeah, she crit on the last hit, and that caused protection, which kind of slows down the fight for sure. But it is what it is, man. Like, look, that just means she does a lot of damage output, right? And I'm like, you know what? It does suck, but it also means she's a great damage dealer, which is fine. It is fine. And that was still like 60 seconds though, and that was still enough to beat Archangel versus Nick Fury. So yeah, I'll take it, man. That's still pretty, like, that's still a pretty good time for sure. And now we have this Omega Sentinel fight, and Omega Sentinel, she's not the hardest defender out there. She does have her auto block, but if you play around it, she becomes not too bad whatsoever. And Moondragon has unblockable special attacks as well, so she can't even auto block that, right? So yeah, it's just like, there is no worries about this fight, to be honest. So yeah, now we're in Transcendence, which is just perfect. And now we can just bait out her SP1, or not, because she plays super passively, right? So I'm like, you know what? I'll just try to dex the SP2. I'm not like really confident on the SP2 decks. I would say I'm like 50-50 with it. But there I get it, thankfully, because if I didn't, I would have taken a lot of damage, and I probably would have lost this matchup, right? But thankfully, I got the dex, so I can just drop the SP2 now. And yeah, the fight just gets obliterated, man. She just gets totally obliterated in about 40 seconds. And now we have this Rintrah fight, and Rintrah is very annoying. He has so much health. He has so much tankiness. He just is the ultimate combo of this guy just sucks to fight on defense. And like a rank 5 one is just, he's not going to see the light of day pretty much. And a rank 4 one is still super annoying because he has about 250,000 health, which is just craziness, man. It is total craziness. So yeah, here he drops the SP2, and I kind of messed up because you want to just bait out the SP1 because you can just easily retaliate with your heavy attack, and your heavy attack does a lot of damage output. But they are kind of messed up, and I let him drop the SP2, which is just not, that's not good, right? But yeah, besides that, this fight goes pretty well. We do get a bit unlucky though because she just does not crit whatsoever, and Moondragon, when she's awakened, has a ton of crit rating. So yeah, she should have crit a ton, but she didn't. It is what it is though, man. Like, this damage output is still pretty dang good. And yeah, now we just bail out the SP1 again, and we go for a heavy attack once more. And yeah, right there, 36,000 damage, man. That's what I needed this entire time. Like, I've been looking for that, man, and I finally got it. And yeah, I just need one more crit. Didn't get it, unfortunately, but then he just is melted anyway. And that was 71 seconds. It could be as fast as like 60 seconds, to be honest. So yeah, overall, a pretty good fight. And now we have this Dr. Doom. And Dr. Doom is pretty dang annoying, right? Because, you know, super tanky. His Aura of Hazareth. Did I say that right on the first try? That's pretty crazy if I did. But yeah, he has like those mechanics, which is just, you know, very annoying to deal with. But Moondragon can just burst him down pretty much. Like, the plan here is to just burst him down. Like, no other thing, just Moondragon doing Moondragon things and just being a crazy fast burst damage dealer. So yeah, here I drop the relic, then we just go for another combo so we can be at the SP2 and we don't have to deal with the Aura of Hazareth, right? And that was the game plan here, and it works pretty well. So now I drop the SP1 and we are now in Sonic Transcendence. And after this, we can just drop the SP2. Hopefully it just, like, you know, finishes him off. Here he drops the SP1 though, so I was a bit worried, but besides that, it's just fine, man. It is just so fine because we're at the SP2 now, and it does some pretty nice damage output, I do admit. Like, that's still pretty dang good. We weren't at maximum ramp, so yeah, like, it wouldn't have finished him anyway, but if we were at max ramp, he would have been done for, to be honest. But yeah, this fight still goes pretty well. We're just trying to not let him throw the SP1, but guess what? He throws the SP1, which is just, you know, not a fun time whatsoever. We drop the relic, then we go for another combo, and yeah, the fight is just over, man. Overall, not too bad. I think that was like 60-something seconds. Let me check. I think it was about, yeah, 67 seconds. Not too bad whatsoever. And yeah, overall, just a pretty decent time. Like, for a Dr. Doom fight with like a non-science champion, it's definitely pretty dang good. And to end the video, we have an Absorbing Man. This is a rank 5 Absorbing Man, and he just gets obliterated, man. But something does happen here at the beginning of the fight. So yeah, we just go in, and we get a massive lag spike once again. And I'm just like, wow, that's the second time this night. What is going on? But besides that, the fight just goes very well. Absorbing Man, he is countered by just, like, you know, heavy countering his special attack, and Moondragon has increased crit rating while she does that. So yeah, it just leads to some pretty awesome damage and some very nice numbers overall. So yeah, now we're in Sonic Transcendence. After this combo, I lied, we need one more combo. Now we're in Transcendence, right? And then we can just, you know, go for another heavy attack. And yeah, no crit unfortunately, but you know what? We'll crit eventually, right? But look at this. We dropped the SP2, some very nice numbers. And yeah, he drops the SP2 once again. It's fine. We can just retaliate with the heavy attack. No crit there, unfortunately. But then he drops the SP1, and we're going to get a crit here for sure, right? Look at this. 31,000 damage, man. That is just so good. We drop the SP2, and he just gets obliterated. And, like, I believe, like, 56 seconds or so. I think it says 60 seconds here, but it did, like, start a little bit earlier, like the fight timer. So yeah, I think it was about 56 seconds for a rank 5 Absorbing Man. That is very good. And yeah, Moondragon is just a crazy good champion, man. I feel like she is still so underrated, but she is a fantastic champion overall. She is in the next 6-star featured. So yeah, you might want to save your shards because she is looking pretty dang spicy, man. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on Moondragon, and that's about it for me.